Arsenal versus Leeds. It's the first game at the Emirates Stadium this season, anyways. And tell you what, we've got a harsh few fixtures coming up, and we've got a really crap referee with this as well. But look, Arsenal versus Leeds. You'd expect us to win, but Leeds, they well, put it bluntly, they're not mugs. Now, of course, most people at this point will be talking about Eberechi Eze, and they'll be talking about obviously that he's done his medical today, well, yesterday, should I say? But I haven't heard anything about that yet. I haven't heard any news about whether or not he's completed his medical or whether or not he's signed a contract. I've heard a few whispers here and there, but other than that, not much. But look, he definitely won't play today. I'll say that much. Even if he was ready for it, I still wouldn't play him. I think it's just a bit too soon, a bit too sudden. Especially if he had his medical yesterday as well. But Arsenal versus Leeds now. Of course, this is a game we need 3 points in. Already we've gotten 3 points off of Man United at Old Trafford, and that's historically a horrible place for us to go to at Old Trafford. We always do seem to struggle there, but the important thing is that we got the 3 points there. Now, if we can continue getting points, hopefully today we can get 6 out of 6 points. We move into Anfield. Hopefully we can have a bit of momentum going into Anfield, though I do believe we will still struggle there. It really depends on how we play at the time, though. But for now, Arsenal versus Leeds. Hopefully we can get the 3 points in the first game, in our first home game of the season. And yeah, but starting off in goal, I'm gonna say David Raya. And David Raya, he's a good overall shot stopper, ball catcher. I still do question him a few times though. I still think sometimes he makes decisions that just put us in more trouble than anything else. But he is our number one right now, and we need to back him endlessly. Well, I wouldn't say back him endlessly, but we do need to back him. And even if I do sometimes question him, I will back him, at least until someone else takes that position. In the defense, I'm gonna go with Saliba. Now with Saliba, obviously, he's very calm-minded. He's gonna protect us quite a lot, and he's very, very strong on the ball as well. But look, we need him at his best now. He was part of the defense that did really well against Man United, but I still think we need to expect more from our midfield, especially our midfield and our attack. Moving on to the other centre back, I'm going to say Gabriel. I think this Gabriel Saliba partnership is just one that should never be broken. Let's be honest, those two as a centre back partnership are absolutely unbelievable. In the right back position, I've gone with Yuri and Timber. Now, Yuri and Timber, definitely very solid defensively. Good at going forward as well, but I do think Ben White's a bit better going forward. But Yuri and Timber, I think he's a better overall defender. And I've gone with him on the right back. Now, in the left back, I don't know any news about Calafiori being injured. I might have heard of it somewhere. No, wait, no, was that Kai Havertz? Might have been Kai Havertz, actually. But assuming Calafiori isn't injured, and I always have to assume this because he's so injury prone, assuming Calafiori isn't injured, I've gone with him in the left back. And in that left back position with him, he's really got to show up. He did show up quite well at Old Trafford, and we need to see more of that today. Anyways, moving now into the midfield, I'm going to say Zubimendi. Now, Zubimendi, he's not very flashy per se, but he will collect the ball, he will hold the ball, he will pass the ball. What I liked about him in the preseason is that when he got the ball, his first thought was go forward. That is something that we've lacked last season, especially. Whenever we got the ball, it always just seemed like backwards, sideways, backwards, sideways, backwards, sideways. And if we do that this season, we're going to be in big trouble. But we've got we've got to now hopefully see a very similar thing that we saw in pre-season. I don't think I saw much of that in the Old Trafford game, but in all fairness, I don't think our midfield was doing very well in that game whatsoever. Man United were just consistently winning the ball there. They were consistently putting us under pressure, and that's where I was worried we were going to concede. And moving on to the midfield, well, not onto the midfield, but I've gone with Declan Rice. Now, Declan Rice, he'll hold the ball, he'll do some moves, but more importantly, hopefully, he can get a bit of, or he can give a bit of support to our left side. Now, I say with Declan Rice, I still love the way that he holds the ball, the way that he goes forward with the ball, the way that he controls the ball. Maybe we do need a better left wing. Well, we do need a left wing, definitely. But look, Declan Rice as a whole, I really, really do appreciate what he does in that midfield. And the last midfielder here is going to be Martin Odegaard. Now, Martin Odegaard, I can't lie, I was getting a bit frustrated with him at Old Trafford. With him at Old Trafford, he was just like, he got the ball, and occasionally he did do well with it. But I find it that he loses the ball a bit easily here. And especially seeing him that one time, and this one stuck out for me. Seeing him run into the defender when he had the ball. Just why at that point? It's probably the stupidest thing you could do when you have the ball. But he does have his individual moments. Maybe he does need to take a few more shots outside the box. But for now, he will remain the captain. I don't know whether that's going to change if Eze is coming or not. But he is the captain for now, and he is going to hold that creative spot in the midfield. Now, moving on to the attack, I'm going to say Bukayo Saka. Now, Bukayo Saka, I didn't think he had a good game at all last time, really, at Old Trafford. I thought he was just as bad as Martinelli, if I'm honest. I don't think either of our wingers could beat an egg. But in general, he does get himself good positioning. He does find ways into the box, even if the defender is backing off him. Moving into that box is a very important thing. And allowing overlaps from either Ben White or Urian Timber. It does work, but I feel like occasionally it's getting a bit predictable now. So I maybe try something else. Maybe just take on the defender. That is, of course, assuming there is only one defender. More often than not, actually, Saka does have to take on two defenders at once. But I think that's just a result of our left and right imbalance. Speaking of the left, on the left wing side, I'm going to go with... I'm going to take a bit of a different route here. I'm going to say Trossard, actually. I think now that we've got Trossard on a new contract, even if this contract makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever, we've basically just given him a pay rise, but with no extension on the contract. So he's still only got 2 years. But he needs to prove now that he's worth the money, that he's worth giving the pay rise. With Trossard, he he's definitely going to have to prove himself. And I think today I would play him just so he can have the opportunity to prove himself. And of course, in our striker position, it's going to have to be Gyökeres. Even if Gyökeres is still the first choice for me, and probably every other Arsenal fan, with Kai Havertz and Jesus both injured, and we don't really know the extent of the Kai Havertz injury, but with them injured, it's going to have to be either him or Mikel Mourinho. And let's be honest, no one's picking Mikel Mourinho over Victor Gyökeres. This could be a good opportunity as well for Gyökeres to get his first Premier League goal here at Arsenal. And I'm pretty sure that will be his first ever Premier League goal. Well, we can hope for it. But that's the lineup that I would start up with. Let me know what you think down below. Like, share, and comment. And please subscribe. It really does help out the channel. Hopefully, we can get this channel up to 100 subscribers. I'd absolutely love that. But anyways, I will be seeing you in the match review for Arsenal versus Leeds. I'll see you then. Goodbye.